Welcome to my channel. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. I'm just getting a few cards ready for us. I asked what this reading was going to be about, and what I heard is you didn't think it was possible, but, but, yeah. So, seems like even your lack of belief in yourself is not enough to prevent whatever goodness is headed your way, right? Whatever goodness is headed your way is still headed your way, even if you don't believe, even if you can't fathom. What's yours has always and will always be yours. Shall I say it again? What is yours has always and will always be yours. So let's see exactly what it is that soul wants us to see. And just quick reminder, I'm live on I don't know, 10 platforms, 8 platforms. I think it's 10 platforms, including TikTok. So if my attention seems diverted, it's because it is. It's because it is. Let's get started, guys. Let's get started. Ooh, okay. So you've been going through some stuff. You've definitely been going through some stuff. And the stuff that you're going through, it is what it is, right? It's something that has caused you to question, caused you to struggle a bit. Um, Again, it is what it is. And you're going to be fine. So the first card, prosperity in reverse. This is telling me that you've gone through all sorts of different hardships, um, including money hardships. Welcome to the club. So many of us are going through that. It's, it kind of is what it is right now. Try not to take it too hard. It is what it is, and it will improve. And the feel is that maybe what you didn't think was possible has to do with the improvement of life, the improvement of your circumstance. And like I said, soul is really working hard, really, really working hard to get you to a point where you'll allow it to continue doing for you what it needs to do, what it wants to do, which is provide opportunities, provide goodness, provide instances where you can go ahead and rebirth yourself. You can be another version of you, hopefully, a version of you that is much more authentic. If you really want to succeed in life, playing a character, playing a role, that's only going to get you so far. It is only going to get you so far. If you really, really, really want to succeed, you have to allow yourself to be yourself. You have to showcase the beauty that is you and allow people to witness that. Not everyone's going to like you. That's okay. Not everyone has good taste. I'm serious. Not everyone has good taste. And so, what needs to happen is you need to really recognize when your soul is providing you an opportunity to get to another level of existence. This other level of existence, um, man, it feels profound. If I'm gonna, if I'm gonna, if I'm gonna allow myself to get a good feel for what it is that's being communicated, it feels like this next part for those who are wanting to participate in that, it feels like it's going to be a good part. But you have to go through the motions. You have to allow yourself to be as present as you need to be. Because if not, well, then it's not going to happen. Right? For those who are not familiar with me, those who are new to the way that I present messages from soul, I do not just tell you what you want to hear. That's lovely. If you want to hear good things, that's lovely. Who doesn't want to hear good things? I tell you what you need to hear. I tell you how powerful you are. and also the ways in which you're not fully claiming that power, right? These are very real, very raw type readings. And the goal of these readings is to reiterate messages that soul has already been sending you. Soul has been communicating with you for how long? And you're not hearing, you're not listening because for whatever reason, um, there's a part of you that feels like there's no way my soul would be speaking to me. Who the hell would it be talking to? Who else would it be talking to outside of you? Um, I mean, it's talking to you. It's trying to guide you. It's trying to bring you to a space of balance. It's trying so hard. So hard. Your soul doesn't want you punished. Your soul doesn't want you to suffer and struggle. And of course, there's going to be those of us who are going to be like, well, then why am I suffering? Because you're choosing to. You're the one making choices. That includes decisions to give other people your sovereign right and sovereign power, your sovereign authority over yourself. But I can't say no. Yes, the hell you can. I don't want to be rude. And that's the problem. The fact that you're identifying as rude when really what you're being is honest is a major problem. You want to see a difference in your life? You want to see good things happen for yourself? Get in flow with what your soul is trying to get you to do. That's going to be a different set of instructions for each person. But regardless of the differences in instruction, your soul is trying to get you to a place where everything is flowing beautifully. Everything is being allowed to just happen for you, right? I think for many of us, we can't believe that good things are meant to happen for us. That's setting you back quite a bit. That belief that good things are not meant for you is very negatively affecting your journey. That's why you can't believe it was possible. It's absolutely possible. It is absolutely possible. There are struggles that are happening, and the struggles for some of us, for many of us, most of us, for most of us, the struggles that we're having is due to this um, out of control imagination that we have. And usually imagination is a good thing because that gives you creative ways to implement creative solutions, to see circumstance in different from different angles to help yourself better grasp what the best option is for whatever circumstance you're living through. Now, as of right now, for some of us, this imagination is wildly out of control. And I say it in that way because of the fact that uh, for many of us, we're imagining things in worst case scenario, right? We're imagining things as though worst case scenario is the only potentiality, and that's not true. That's not true. When all you look for is worst case scenario, all you open yourself to is the witnessing of the unfoldment, the bringing to fruition of worst case scenario. What happens? You close yourself off from recognizing when a very good potentiality is presented to you. Okay? So, you don't you didn't think it was possible, but it is possible. And it's something that's happening for you right now. If you allow yourself to flow with this, it will be something that will take you up till the start of autumn, but massive shifts are going to occur. Massive opportunities are going to be presented to you. You're going to have the life of your dreams being presented to you. But again, you have to be willing. You have to be willing to allow yourself to recognize, to acknowledge, and then to accept, to receive whatever goodness soul has planned for you. Okay. Manifestation. You're in absolute control of what you're manifesting, what you're bringing to fruition, right? If you allow yourself to begin focusing on the goodness that you want, the amazing things, the opportunities, the connections, all of these really powerful things, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get paired up with the very thing that you want and need to get to that end result of a life so profound, so beautiful, flowing with so much abundance that you sit there and you're like, I don't know how this was even possible. How the heck did this happen? Because you let it. And that's how it happened. You let it happen. Just like oftentimes we let bad things happen to us. It's not about blame. We need to be careful about viewing our lessons, our opportunities to learn as though we need to blame ourselves. No, it's about recognition of how your chosen options led to the circumstance that you are now experiencing. And if you enjoy what you're experiencing, do more of the same. If you don't enjoy what you are experiencing, you need to start making different options the priority. Okay. Let's see. Okay. This is going to be a little bit of a difficult message to receive for a lot of people, but it's the reality of things, okay? So, dream walker. Dreams, the collective good, and illusions. For many of us, we think that in order to be a good person, in order to have good things happen for us, everything we do must be for the collective whole. That's a lie. That's a full on lie. Because we as individuals, we're very limited in our perception. How could we, with our limited perception, ever actually know what is good for the collective? We don't. We don't have enough life experience. We don't. It doesn't matter your age. You are seeing life from your limited vantage point. You are only aware of the things that you are aware of. And if you're unaware of all of these other potentialities, possibilities, experiences, um, then you don't know the full scope of exactly what it is um, you're able to choose from, right? So this card is telling me that the illusion that everything that you choose for yourself must be chosen from a space of martyrdom where it's like, we all have to this, we all have to that. I'm here to save the world. That's an illusion. Let that go. Start selecting options that are really good for you. And when I say good for you, I'm not talking about um, using other people. I'm not talking about climbing over others to get ahead. That's not what I'm talking about at all. I'm talking about what will make you feel the most whole, the most balanced, what will help you to see that everything in life is unfolding in proper time, proper measure. It's a beautiful thing. And, it's definitely something that can be very beneficial, very healing. It just needs a little bit of your time, your effort, a little push in the right direction, right? Really allowing yourself to begin recognizing when you take care of yourself, it's a ripple effect. The people in your environment begin to be affected in a beneficial way, witnessing you get healthier. Get healthy. Choose what's healthy for you. It's not being selfish. It's not. It's having the appropriate priority, right? There are far too many people in this world who will try and convince you that your own needs should be shelved and you should help others. And, where are those people when you need something? When you actually truly need help, are those people helping you? The people who have told you to deplete yourself, are they helping you? Because in my experience, those people are silent. They're gone. They're gone. When I went through a massive hardship several years ago, and I had shared this recently. Um, it was a very massive hardship. I took on the care of my brother, who at the time was dying of heart failure, end stage heart failure. He needed a heart transplant. I've helped lots of people, hundreds of people, monetarily. I've helped lots of people. I've been so ridiculously generous for years. For years, I gave so much of myself. I gave so much of my own resources to so many people. And I did it genuinely. I didn't expect anything in return. And you know what I noticed? When I began to develop boundaries, when I began to no longer just be basically an ATM for complete strangers, I noticed those people disappeared. You know who was left to help me when I needed help the most? The people who are around, not because of what they could get from me, but because they saw me to my core, the truth of me. They saw me, the human, and they loved me. And they held space for me. And even though times were tough for everyone, these were the people who still kept giving. People who had no problem with me not offering anything anymore. People who had no problem with me shutting down and being barely functional, yet still publicly visible. The ones who felt that I should give and give and give and give and give, they were nowhere to be found when I needed someone to hold space for me. When I needed just a kind word, they were nowhere to be found. Those are the people you're listening to about ignoring your needs. If I may be so bold as to say, fuck those people. Fuck those people. Absolutely. Absolutely. I learned a lot in the past few years. I learned a lot. An absolute treasure trove of wisdom was given to me by soul. How? How did I receive that? Due to adversarial situations. I learned. In my own time and my own measure, I learned. And that is what your soul is asking you to do right now. Learn. Learn. Learn about the truth of love. Learn to discern when people are there simply because of the novelty of you, because of the benefit of being associated with you. Not everyone is like that, but learn to be able to discern when someone is. You're about to have something beautiful happen for you. You're about to have something ridiculously beautiful happen for you. A dream, a goal is about to come true for you. Be very selective of who gets to sit in the seats you have, who will be allowed to witness, who you will allow to have energetic exchange with you, emotional exchange with you. It's not a bad thing to have boundaries and standards. It's not. It's not a bad thing. It doesn't make you a bad person. And um, the people who would go around and badmouth you, because that's what you're scared of, right? That if you don't do what other people want, what they say, what they expect, they're going to go around and say bad things about you. Let me tell you from my life experience, those type of people, they're going to do it anyways. They're going to do it anyways. As soon as whatever they're getting from you dries up, they were always going to do that anyways. Why are you afraid of a given? That's a given. That is a given. That is their character, not yours. So instead of being afraid of what people will say, because now you're choosing yourself, you're choosing your healing, you're choosing discernment, right? You're becoming very empowered in that space. Yeah, who gives a shit what they say? Just do you, boo. You're about to have some dreams brought to fruition. And the people who walked away when they could no longer have from you, don't leave seats open for them. There's billions of people in this world. Why leave a seat open for someone who's already shown you their disregard for your well-being? I'm saying. They've already shown you their disregard for your well-being. They couldn't get something from you, they walked away. Now they see that there's something to get from you again, they're back. No, I don't give a fuck. It's not about holding a grudge, it's about recognizing you're toxic for me. No, I'm not going to allow that back in my life. It's okay for you to have developed standards because of what was done, what happened, what you lived through in the past, recent past, long time ago past, you know? Um, I think for many of us, this reading is going to be very jarring because we've become so programmed um, to participate in situations that are so unhealthy for us. Um, it is what it is. Those programs are what they are. You need to start making choices that are for your benefit, choices that are healthier for you. Mm, mm. Quality over quantity. Quality over quantity. We hear that so often. And we have this preconceived notion of what that means. But I don't know that we really know how that gets applied to life, right? So once upon a time, I had such a broad reach on social media. It's my work stuff, right? And there were so many people trying to be my friend, and I'm skittish just because I'm actually um, quite introverted in real life. It's difficult for me to interact with people I don't know. It takes a certain type of person to feel comfortable enough to speak openly, right? So a lot of the things that I share on live streams, I would never share in person with another person. Um, yeah, that's just kind of how I am. And so back then, there were all these people who seemed genuine, but I didn't know any better. I'll be the first to admit that I didn't know any better. There seemed to be quite a few people who were wanting to be my genuine friend, who um, consistently proclaimed publicly how much love they have for me and all of this other stuff. And I think for many of you, you'll relate to this. Um, I was afraid of not being liked. I had a very real fear that if I began to express boundaries and began to say no to the things people would ask me, that I would become a pariah, that I would be disliked. And that's what happened. That's what happened. Except that was the most beautiful gift life has ever given me. I was so depleted. Giving and giving and giving, my God. I would sleep maybe hour and a half, usually maybe about 45 minutes every night. That's how much I would sleep because I needed to be available for anyone and everyone, just giving, giving, giving because of this extreme fear and losing all of that, that perception of losing all of that is the greatest gift life has ever given me. The decision to walk away from that platform, from those people. Not to say they were bad, but it is to say the dynamic that I co-created was absolutely fucking toxic. Toxic for me. And I willingly created that. I'm not blaming anyone else. I'm not a victim. I'm not. And the reason I'm so grateful for that specific circumstance and that sense of loss is because that's when I finally learned the concept of quality over quantity. I have less than a handful of friends. I do. I do. Four. Four folks. But man, I'm going to cry. Four out of hundreds of people. I know I could trust them with my life. That I could trust them with my children. My children who I share with no one. Because it is an honor to be in their presence. And those four, I know if something catastrophic happened and something happened to my husband and I, those four, I wouldn't even have to ask. I just know in my heart, nothing would be allowed to happen to my children. That they would be fine. That they would have the support. That these people would check in and be like, nephews, are you guys good? Do you guys need something? And I had to go through the things that I went through. It was not punishment. The sense of suffering came from the sense of loss. But what was I losing? Nothing. I was gaining. I was gaining an understanding that I have given myself away to people who never deserved me to begin with. And that is not a bad thing. It is the price I paid to learn what I needed to learn. It was never punishment. It was never a game being played. It was never a joke with me as the butt of the joke. It was about understanding. Not everyone has the capacity to show up in the way that I need. And I am not to give myself away like that just because I'm desperate to see that in the world. That as I experience these things and I allow myself to be publicly witnessed as I experience, as I process, what happens is I become the rock that's thrown in the still water that creates the ripples across the entire surface. That the changes I'm seeking I will be the impetus for those changes. I am not here to save the world from anything. I am here to be witnessed as an example of what happens when you step into your rightful place and you responsibly use your authority over yourself. You have no authority over anyone else. Even your children are not your own. They are entrusted to you to be taken care of and provided for. They are not yours. They are not your property. They are sovereign beings. They belong only to Creator. And you were the vessel to bring them forward into manifestation. That is an honor, not an ownership. The only thing that you can control is you. And as you allow people to witness you taking back control over yourself, your life, your emotions, your journey, just by making decisions, choosing the options that are going to be very supportive of your healing, you're returning back to a space of wholeness. Oh my God, the most beautiful things happen. The things that you could only dream of. I don't give a fuck if you have no sympathy for me. I'm not looking for sympathy. That's weakness. And you are a hateful person. You think I'm crying for sympathy? I've never had sympathy my whole life. People think they can be hateful and turn you hateful or embarrass you. I'm not embarrassed. I'm a living, breathing, feeling soul. There's nothing embarrassing about feeling so deeply the gravity of my journey. You thought I wanted sympathy? Well, you're fucking stupid. I mean, if you're going to be able to speak whatever you want to speak, I will too. I'm not even mad. I'm not even mad. This is about me owning my life, speaking openly about my life. There's nothing to be sympathetic about. There's nothing to feel sorry for. My story is a story of empowerment. You see, that's part of what needs to be changed about society. This concept that if you cry, then you're weak and you're seeking attention, you're seeking sympathy. I don't need any of those things because I promise you, I already have that in my personal life. I don't go to social media with that. I have no sympathy for you. I don't give a fuck if you do. It's not about me getting attention. It's about me sharing my story in a way that is so shameless, devoid of shame and guilt, because there's nothing I have to be ashamed of. And allowing myself to be witnessed by the people who have the level of maturity to see what this is, a testament to what happens when you no longer let loser as fuck people dictate to you how you should live. Mm. Mm. There's nothing to be sympathetic about. Nothing at all. Are you kidding me? I have an amazing fucking life. I have such an amazing fucking life. I get to work from home. I have amazing children. I have a phenomenal husband. I'm never asked or made to feel like I need to be anyone but myself. I have a whole ass community that is just like, hey, you're you. You're you. Yeah, you got a hamster wave in your brain. But I mean, the side quests, they add richness to the message. You don't have to be medicated and focused. Like, you're you, girl. Keep going. There's absolutely nothing to be sympathetic about. Let me tell you, I've been homeless. I lived in a parking lot for a while. I didn't need sympathy then either, because that was a fucking beautiful experience. And anyone who's known me for any length of time knows my story about that hasn't changed. It's not some contrived thing where I'm trying to say it was beautiful, but I'm really hateful of that period. Oh my fucking God. If my kids would just agree to live in an RV again, absolutely. They don't want to though. So we're in a house. There's nothing that I would ever be ashamed of or need sympathy for. I accept my life, and I accept it as a beautiful, very blessed existence. And that the hardships that I sometimes share about, things that I've already gotten through, man, you guys, those are the richest parts of your life. That is when you learn the most about what you are capable of. Those are not bad parts. Those are not bad parts. Those are the parts that help you to understand how unstoppable you are. I'm not the only one that's unstoppable. I'm not. More and more, so many of us are getting to a place where we no longer want to comply and play by the rules and be quiet and let people talk to us in whatever way they want. Like, no, no, no. My snot is starting to drip. I've been having allergies for days. 2 days. It started yesterday. I think that whatever it is that's about to happen that you didn't think is possible, but now you're going to be allowed to see it's absolutely possible. I think that it's for you. It doesn't have to benefit anyone else but you. That's not selfish. That's not selfish. It's not. It's not something you have to apologize for. Knowing that you have a need and allowing yourself to receive based on what that need is, that's not selfish. That's appropriate. When life is giving you these things and you're not trying to take away opportunity from someone else, how is that wrong? How is that wrong? Because it's not wrong. And people will dance you in circles to try and convince you after you've become dizzy about going in circles with them that you're wrong. Well, that's funny. It doesn't feel wrong. What's wrong about it? Oh, because, yeah, I don't give a fuck what you have to say. I don't. I don't. I don't. Because now I'm at a point where I only have conversations between the self and the soul. When it comes to my perception of me, it comes from conversations between the self and the soul. And if you're not even part of my community, a community that understands the things that I've been through, the level of grace that I embody, the amount of compassion and patience, I'm probably not going to listen. You need to earn that type of access to me. And that's something you guys need to begin applying to your life. People must earn that depth of access where their opinions as an outsider matters to you. Oh, no, baby boo. No, no, that needs to be earned. That cannot just be freely given to someone. Now, if it was someone from my YouTube community that I've known for years and is like, I don't have sympathy for you, then I'm going to be like, oh, am I being manipulative right now? I'm going to have to ask some questions. I am. I'm going to have to be like, okay, what am I communicating that's making you feel that way? Because I'm clearly not seeing myself in the way I need to see myself. I'm clearly needing you to kind of share more because you have earned that type of access where your opinion does matter to me. You've seen me through all these different phases and stages of life. And for you to see me in that way, feel that way towards me, I need to consider that maybe my behavior, I'm not being myself. Maybe I'm not seeing something, right? It's not to say that I never listen to anyone. It's to say that unless you've earned that depth of access, that your opinion matters to me, I don't give a shit what you say. I'm too old to give a shit what people say. I'm not old, but I'm too old to give a shit what people think. And that's just, yeah, no, 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 no. Integrity. The wise woman of Wonderland. Integrity. Compromise. I'm receiving this as do not compromise your integrity. I'm receiving this as an indicator, a message from soul that for some of you, maybe most of you, you're going to be faced with a situation where you're going to be pressured to compromise your integrity, the way you see yourself, because someone is challenging you. Someone is forcing you to see yourself in a way that you are not. Someone is trying to dominate you. No, inferior consciousness should never be given the forum to speak. I have fucking said what I said. When someone needs dominion over another, that's an inferior consciousness right off the bat. Right off the bat. That's an inferior consciousness, and they need you to feel subjugated and agree to subjugation in order to be able to hold space with you. That's why they do that right from the start. Why would a complete stranger say and do that? Oh, you don't get my sympathy. As a matter of fact, give me 1 second. I needed to screenshot that. Give me 1 second, guys. All right. I love when I'm able to gather more. For those who know, you know. I forgot what I was talking about. The Horse King, assistance, control. Your soul is providing you opportunities by way of life circumstance to assist you in regaining control of yourself and your life, right? To assist you in regaining control of yourself and your life. This is a very powerful period that we're entering into. The Hawk Prince, spirit communication, paying attention, confirmation that your soul is speaking directly to you. If you're feeling like, damn, this is hitting so deep, this is hitting so deep, I feel the resonance in my chest and my nipples. I don't know, some people do. TMI. That's because your soul has you on here right now to hear whatever's being said. I don't know what parts apply to you. I think your nipples are telling you. Yeah, I don't know. I think your nipples are telling you that soul is speaking to you. Some people, that's their confirmation that soul's speaking to them. They get THO. I mean, I don't know. I'm not one of those, but I'm just saying there's, there's some of you who are like that. It's not a bad thing. Just embrace it. Embrace it. You can be like, oh, I hear you, soul. Okay. All right. Moving forward. So again, spirit is communicating things to you. Whatever resonates deeply, and it's not for me to tell you what part of the message is yours, but whatever resonates deeply, you feel it in your body, you feel the resonance. That message is for you. And it's not that you take it at face value. It's supposed to initiate communication between the self and the soul. Question it. Think about it. Like, how does what she said apply to me? Does it apply to me? What part of my life does it apply to? Soul, help me to understand this better. And that's how you begin developing a relationship between the self and the soul. I'm not speaking to y'all to be an authority over you. I am not an authority over you. To be an authority over you is to disrespect and disregard your sovereignty. That's a big no no. That is a big no no. So, my readings that I do, it's about initiating the questioning, the consideration that leads to conversation between the self and the soul. You do what your soul tells you to do. I'm only to serve as a reiteration of a communication that's already taken place between the self and the soul. I am no authority over you. We're side by side. We are shoulder to shoulder. I'm just as messy as you, boo. Hey, it's true. We all messy in some way. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Even you who's messy, but you keep your messes in cute boxes, that's still messy. You have like what? 5 junk drawers. Your mess is hidden. That's okay. It's okay. We don't always have to be, perfectly put away or anything like that. We just have to be ourselves. That's it. Just be yourself. And I think for many of us, um, the dance that we're in between the self and the soul, it has to do with how we are traveling in concentric circles. We're traveling in a spiral, right? It's spiraling up wider and higher as it simultaneously spirals down. This is about you expanding into your totality. Soul is about to provide you these opportunities to expand your awareness of yourself, what you are capable of. I mean, I honestly feel like for many of us who feel like we can't do things, that we're very limited, that we're disempowered, it's because we've allowed ourselves to be convinced that we are. It's because of that. It really, I feel that. I feel like a lot of the reason why I can be so bold and so, just like um headstrong about things that I feel strongly about is because I did not have much parenting as a kid. Both my parents worked. That's not a sad thing. It allowed me to blossom in the ways that I needed to. Because for much of my life, I've pretty much been alone. I did not have someone to taint my perception to the degree that most people get affected. You know, it's one of those things. I'm very, very grateful for every aspect of my life. Every aspect of my life. All right. I think for some of you, you're not feeling that way. And if it's the truth, that okay, it's the truth. You don't have to be fake happy for something that's still hurting you. I was angry for a very long time. That's my truth. Yeah, my parents made me the parent too, and I'm the youngest. I'm the youngest in a large family, and I was very angry for quite some time. Like, gosh, I would say till my mid 30s, maybe even late 30s. I was I was very angry. What did that anger do for me? Honestly, not really much. It limited me more. It caused me to build taller walls, thicker walls. Um, it amplified my distrust in people. Um, it served the purpose, but it didn't do much that I perceived as beneficial. It didn't help me to further heal myself. It just caused me to continue to stew in my own juices. And when you begin to recognize the true gravity of the gift you're given, with a life that you lived, that anger kind of becomes just fuel for your rise. It doesn't become this destructive inferno. It's just like, no, I got a propane tank. It's over there. Like, y'all want to roast some marshmallows? Oh my gosh. I'm just, yeah. Yeah, it's a part of my history. I'm not pissed about it. But I was for a while. I was for a long while. It's okay to recognize when something upsets you. It hurts you. But if you're going to move into the next part of your life, that's going to require you to be a whole different version of yourself. Not because the version of you is not good enough, but because the version of you will not allow you to see the goodness you're now being surrounded by. That's why you need to allow yourself to shift into a different version of you, not because you're broken. It was never about you being broken, right? I said in a live stream recently that I held so much of my truth, my power, and my light inside myself, caged it in a prison, and life was allowed to fracture me to allow some of that light to shine through. It wasn't to destroy me. It was to facilitate me being a gift to people who crossed my path, even when I didn't want to be. You are already living your purpose. Just because it's not what you think it is doesn't mean you're not living your purpose. You are already living your purpose, whether you understand it or not. I don't understand why someone would want to listen to my live streams. I'm not even playing a game here. I'm not trying to sound humble. I legit like, like, I don't know why. Do I need to know? No, I just need to show up. When soul tells me to show up, I show up. When soul encourages me to speak on things, I speak on things, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it moves me to tears. That is something I have to share. I don't know why. I don't know what the effect will be. There's no pre-planned anything. It just is what it is, right? It is what it is. And when the live stream is done, the live stream is done, and life goes on. And that's that. And if I'm going to really be honest, I feel like much of my live streams is just me just like shooting the shit. It's just rambling, letting my hamster rave of a brain kind of just take the conversation wherever it goes, and then looking at the cards here and there, right? And like, oh, okay, we're supposed to talk about this. Okay. And that's how I experience it. I'm going to be honest. That's how I experience the live streams. And I rarely ever watch my live streams unless there's something specific that I'm looking for. I pretty much don't watch my live streams. I don't like the sound of my voice. And then I start tripping about, I should get a deep plane facelift. And it's like, girl, you gonna die if you do that. You know what I'm saying? You gonna die. Just leave it alone. Leave your face alone. So I don't rewatch my live streams. But the one time that I did, and I don't know, I think I dissociated because I didn't feel like I was watching myself. I was like, wow, I'm starting to understand my life. I'm serious. I'm just like, oh my God. It makes sense to my own parts. Yeah. And then there were also times where people commented something and they were interacting with something I said in the video. And I was like, the fuck? What are you guys talking about? So I go to that part of the video. I'm like, the shit that comes out my mouth. Oh my God, did I seriously say that? And y'all kept right on watching. Oh, shit. What the fuck? You know? So, like, I don't know. I don't know how the live streams go. I don't know what you need from it. I assume that you will know. And that whatever you don't need, you kind of just toss it out. Toss it out. You know? Not everything I say is going to resonate. It shouldn't. Not everything should resonate. You know exactly what resonates because you feel like I'm speaking directly to you about your life specifically, right? That means that information is for you. And that's what that means. And I don't know what the information is, but let me just keep right on with my rambling. So for some of us, we feel like there's nothing to celebrate. Well, if you're going to be a sourpuss, there's not going to be anything to celebrate. Now, for some, you know, I get it. You're sour for a very valid reason. But I mean, is that helping you? It's a genuine experience. It's a valid experience. It's because of something that happened. And no, you don't have to force yourself to not feel bitter. But is it helping you? Because if it's not helping you, if it's not bringing the best parts of your life to fruition, if it's not facilitating that, I think maybe it's time to start processing and letting that go. You know what I mean? Letting some of that go. Um, Not pretending like it didn't bother you. Because let me tell you, when someone's a fucking bitch to me, like goes out of their way to be a toxic ass fucking bitch, I'm gonna feel some type of way about that. Like if I let it go on long enough, I'm gonna end up feeling some type of way about that. And yeah, eventually, if I let it continue, I'm gonna start to feel embittered. And it's at that point that I need to choose my healing and acknowledge, like, yeah, no, all of that happened, but I also co-created that. Um, so if I didn't like that, then I need to remember the feeling of when this first started. And when someone in a future event, future connection causes me to feel that again, I know you are a future motherfucking bitch, toxic as fuck to me. I don't have any boundaries, so I'm just gonna walk away. I'm good. I'm sure you're nice, but this is going to implode between me and you. So I'm just gonna walk away. But that's for me. I'm not giving you guys advice because I know I'm drawn to those type of people. It's the truth. I'm drawn to toxic ass wounded people. I'm a typical empath. I'm drawn to them because they give me a valid excuse not to work on myself. It's not because they're bad people. It's not because I need to save them. It's because I've intellectualized my excuses for not working on myself. And if I've found a person project, that's a very valid excuse. They need help. But now, because I've grown just a little bit more in my understanding of myself and my mechanisms, my coping mechanisms specifically, I understand when I do that. And I'm like, okay, girl, what's happened every single time you've done this? You've helped. And what has a person done? They've turned around. And once they get what they need and they're nice and comfy, they get triggered because they identify as the wound. Once they become aware that you have successfully begun the healing process for them, you're now the fucking villain. So I've learned, okay, girl, you're not going to be BFFs. Let that pipe dream go. No, 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 no. We're not doing the codependency thing. We're not doing the people project thing. Ask if they need help, offer help one time, and then carry forward. If your heart absolutely requires you help. And when I help, I don't expect any friendship to develop from that. I don't even expect gratitude. When my heart feels like I need to help, I help and I carry forward. And that's that. And that's that. Because I understand myself. I haven't fixed it yet. But I do understand. Uh, I lack boundaries. That's why I'm not in the messenger. You ask me for something, I see it. I'm like, yes, absolutely. Yes. When do you need it? No, no more of that because we're not going to repeat those cycles. That's not to say I will no longer help. That's to say I will not interfere in someone else's journey unless my heart will not allow me to move forward until I do. And that's when I offer help privately, not publicly, privately. And I absolutely task my husband to keep me on track. He let me know if I'm giving too much, if I'm falling back into certain types of cycles. He'd be like, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And I'd be like, well, worlds within worlds. Let the most beautiful parts of you out. For many of us, the most beautiful parts of us, they are the parts we're most ashamed of. I don't know why. I kind of do, but I kind of don't. For some reason, we think the most beautiful parts of us are some of the most ugly. I don't know why. I don't know why, but we just need to embrace that part. Maybe we think it's ugly because the most powerful, most beautiful parts of us are typically the parts of our character that the adults who helped to raise us, whether it was a babysitter, a parent, a relative, that was the part that intimidated them. They couldn't control you because of that part. And they, not to make excuses, but they come from cultures and time periods where children are to be managed, not to be encouraged to blossom and simply be loved. Right. So it's time to kind of shift that. Um, Yeah, it's time to kind of just shift that. It's time to allow yourself to enter into a space where you recognize you have choices, that you are in control. Can you see anything for me? I see you being told that this is a general reading and I'm not doing personal readings. That's what I see for you. For some of us, I knew it. Thank you, Aunt Shell. Y'all, I'm telling you, that was 100% accurate, was it not? Didn't I call it? I mean, Jessica, either I make it a joke so that I laugh and no one feels uncomfortable, or I take it personally because I feel like you're using me. There's nowhere on the screen on the live stream where I'm making it seem as though I'm offering free readings. So take your pick. Something funny or awkward. You must not know me. I got a mouth on me. Anyways, unconditional love, right? Unconditional love in reverse. I think for most of us, we struggle to love ourselves unless we are doing what other people want us to do and validating us because we're accommodating their demands. It's not even requests, it's demands, right? That's hard. That's hard. How often do you say no to people? How often do you say no? Do you struggle to say no? Because I know for many of us, we struggle to say no. Um, and then to base your love for yourself on the one thing that's probably hurting you and depleting you the most. Like, oh, that makes me feel some kind of way. It makes me sad. It makes me sad. Not just sad for you guys, it's sad for all of us. Because for a large portion of my life, I lived like that too. Where your worth, as you perceive it, stems from the validation that other people give you, but only if you give them what they want. And then to give so much that you're depleted in every sense of the word. And as soon as you're depleted, the one time you can't do it, the one time you don't have anything to give, is the time those types of individuals will be like, oh, you never help. You're never there for me. That hurts. That hurts a lot. That hurts, right? What if I told you you don't have to hurt anymore? What if I told you if you find the courage to look yourself in the eyes and actually see yourself, that you'll develop an awareness that will empower you to change what needs to be changed within yourself. And as you begin to change, to shift into a different form, what happens is the energy you project out into your environment will also be changed. Therefore, those who will resonate with you will no longer be externalized projections of your internal self-hatred. You know, when I began loving myself, it was a hard process, let me tell you. Bitch. Oh my God. Oh my God. I couldn't even use a shovel to dig myself out of that bullshit. I needed a fucking backhoe. Oh Lord. It was hard. But I was pissed. I was pissed. I was like, I'm gonna fucking use a backhoe. Yeah, that was my process. I was like, I'm gonna use a backhoe. Sick of being in this pile of shit. and then I did that, and I then began to see myself in a different way. Still full of insecurity and uncertainty, but I was seeing myself differently. And you know, it was crazy. Because as soon as I saw myself differently, I made different choices. And as soon as I made a different choice, I was almost instantly surrounded by a community that's a reflection of my own healing process. Like, God damn. I was like, what the fuck's happening here? Yeah. I didn't even try. I didn't even try. It was a result of one of my coping mechanisms, which is just run. Just run. Leave it and run. I'm a runner. I'm a track star. I'm a runner. I'm a track star. Because I am. Yeah, no, I'm a avoider. That's like one of my most developed coping mechanisms. I avoid, I run, and then when you corner me, I will fucking claw the shit out of you. There's just, and it just so happened that it was that specific coping mechanism, right? Me running from the platform that I worked so hard to cultivate. I ran from that. And then as I ran from that to a different platform, in order to avoid conflict, which I should have told that fucking bitch off. I should have. I should have told that bitch off. Fucking jealous bitch. Yeah, I should have. But I didn't because I don't know. But as I ran to a different platform, I then also kicked in my avoidance. I pretended like everything was perfectly fine because I wanted to avoid the topic. And wouldn't you know, literally, like in a week, maybe less than a week, a couple days, I think, my community jumped to 12,000. And then it jumped to like 18,000. And then it was like 19 something. I was almost at 20K because I was flowing. And because I was angry, I wasn't fully playing the role anymore. I was letting more of myself just be witnessed, right? To certain degrees. And then I noticed. And then that freaked me out. And then I kind of started to shut down. And as I kind of started to shut down, then my mom died. And that was like, oh, fuck yeah, now I got an excuse to really shut down. And wouldn't you know? Because I have the ability to hear, to see, to sense energy and external consciousness. And I was going to shut down fully. I was. Because I had a valid excuse. I took my mother's death very hard. But wouldn't you know? My mama was all up on my ass. You need to go back to work. I just want to cry today. You need to work. Stop being lazy. My transitioned mother. Like, what the can I not mourn? Right? My mom knows me so well. She knew I was using it as an excuse. And she lectured and lectured and lectured every day until I would go live again. I was a lot of live streams with tears. There's a lot of live streams with tears. My lack of understanding of why. Why? I didn't need to know why. I needed to understand that my refusal to surrender to a process that was breaking me open, not breaking me down, was the very thing that was making it so painful for me. It was the very thing that was making it so unbearable for me. I refused to surrender to my own process. You didn't think it was possible, but it absolutely is. You're being properly positioned by soul right now. Whether you want to believe or not is not going to negate the process. It's not going to slow it down. You have been greenlit to see the next part of your journey, the next part of your life, the part where you thrive, the part where you allow yourself to become one with yourself. And as you become one with yourself, you become aligned with your purpose. When you reach a point of alignment, everything flows so much easier. So go through the process, whatever the process is, however the process is, go through it. Okay, I believe this card wants to come out. Oh, uh-huh. Oh, soul is sick of your shit. I'm telling you. Soul and all your ancestors are sick of your shit. Look. Veil of shadows. Look at that. You see that? Look at the face. Sick of our shit. I'm telling you. You see that? Sick of our shit. Whew. Okay. Let's see what it means. Veil of shadows. A lotus blossoms with deep, rich mud into which she plunges her roots and draws great nourishment. From this mud made of water and earth, growth happens and great beauty is revealed. Your soul lotus thrives through depth of emotion and aliveness of your body, into which she can plant herself and unfold as a lotus of light. That means a lot. Sexy Jesus. I'm sick of my shit too. We the same. Same Z's. Okay. So you're over here, a lotus that is thriving in the muck. But you're shaming yourself because it's the muck. And you're like, I need to be bougie. I need to be high class. I need to be high value. I can't be in muck in order to be high value. Have you ever tried to purchase a fresh lily? A fresh lotus? Not lily, lotus. Do you know how much those cost? From this mud made of water and earth, growth happens. The deep, rich mud into which she plunges her roots and draws great nourishment. This is exactly what we've been talking about this whole time. It is the hardships that are nourishing your growth. It is the hardships. That is what's providing you a greater sense of who you are, what you are capable with, capable of. Your soul lotus is blossoming, just like a plant that outgrows the pod in which it's been planted and requires more soil to spread its roots and continue growing. Your soul lotus needs some more mud, some more water and earth energy so that it can grow and shine. We're about to enter into a massive ascension cycle on a collective level. And that's what this is telling me. We are about to go through a massive ascension cycle. It is a trauma-induced accretion. That's going to be hard for a lot of people. Okay. It's not impossible. It's just very challenging. And in that challenge, in that adversity, is hidden the invitation to rise above your circumstance. In the spiritual worlds, all things serve, everything, including our darker emotions and parts of our body that we may not think are acceptable. They are actually good nourishment for our soul. The soul craves to love and be in love with all parts of you. This is everything we're talking about. This is everything we've been talking about. Like a passionate divine lover, it wants to hold nothing back and become completely spiritually intimate with all aspects and all parts of you, whether you have thought they were lovable or not. This can be a challenge. This can be challenging because it can feel extremely uncomfortable to visit and consciously engage with those aspects of our personality and our bodies that we have yet to really love and accept. Yet this is what you are guided to embrace now. This process might be started by taking a class or engaging in a physical practice that honors the shadow part of you. The parts of your body that you dislike the most. Those are the parts that hold the memories of the most profound challenges that you've already lived through and already learned through. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. For a long time, I disliked my belly. I've had quite a few kids, and I've had preeclampsia and gestational diabetes. So I balloon when I'm pregnant, and my stomach stretched so far. A lot of people thought I had twins. That's how big my belly would get. And being in my fitness journey at this point and having it a goal to eventually do a figure competition, bodybuilding competition. I'm going to be in a bikini, which I never wear. I've never worn one. I'm going to be in a bikini and my belly is going to be on display, all of that skin. And I came to a realization a couple months back that I would, and this is just for me, has nothing to do with anyone else. I would never get a tummy tuck. Why? Because the way I see my belly has shifted. Me too, she gator. My fupa game strong too, boo. Same Z's. I see you. I see you. Why would I never get a tummy tuck? Why? Because that's where my children lived. That is the part of my body that serves as evidence of what me and each of my children lived through together. That was the start of our relationship. I never want to forget that. I don't see it as a badge of honor. I don't. I see it as a reminder of how sacred my body is to have been chosen by these powerful sovereigns, to bring them into fruition, to hold them until I could hold them, to keep them safe, to keep them warm and fed. I don't ever want to be rid of that. I just don't. I don't. Every mark that I've carried with me since I first became a mother, all of that is so sacred to me at this point. It's so sacred to me. I will never be rid of that part of me. Whether the skin will tighten up or not, irrelevant. If that's the only reason I don't win what I set out to win, I will accept that. I will not compromise that. I will do everything I can to be ready for the competition that I'm going to do. But I will never compromise that part of me. I will never hate, loathe, or try and hide it. Can we get to a point where we can begin seeing ourselves in a different way, our bodies in a different way? Our body is a roadmap of all of these amazing things we have learned, but not integrated. So long as that knowledge is not integrated, it cannot function as wisdom. For wisdom is knowledge applied, knowledge in action. You cannot enter into a state of gnosis until you find enough courage to look at yourself from a space of neutrality, simply acknowledging everything you've been through and allowing the feelings to flow. What may have made you mad before might not make you mad anymore. It might, in fact, be seen in a different way, experienced differently. Allow yourself to shift and change. And the shifts and changes that you are so desperate to experience because you are so uncomfortable in the space you're in right now. It's already happening. You're just not acknowledging it. It's already happening. And you're probably like, "God, it's just so uncomfortable." It needs to be so that you don't choose to remain there anymore. Have you ever thought about why certain situations, certain experiences are uncomfortable? Because if it wasn't uncomfortable, you would still continue to tolerate it. You would still continue to exist in that same limited space that was never designed or approved for long term inhabitation by you. Let that sink in. The only reason you're struggling is because you're continuing to choose in the place to stay in the places that your soul is already and has been telling you it's time to leave that behind. It's time to go. Let that sink in. 69 going on 25. Whoop, whoop. Iris, congratulations to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Iris. So there's another birthday. Free to be wee. It's Free to be wee's birthday. Happy birthday, Free to be wee. Happy birthday, Free to be wee. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to everyone whose birthday is today. Okay. This process might be started by taking a class or engaging in a physical practice that honors a shadow part of you. If you considered yourself an introverted person, it might be to begin to honor the counter side of this, the part that needs community and people in order to thrive. Oh my God, that I feel that. I feel that so deeply. If you consider yourself a quiet person, you might need to explore how you can find joy through sound, music, and energy. If you consider yourself a passionate person, you could benefit from finding the part of you that is peaceful and content in the moment with things exactly as they are right now. This interplay isn't about saying that who you are now is not enough. It's about acknowledging that you are that thing you believe you are not. I'm going to read this again. I am going to read this again. Okay. This inner play isn't about saying that who you are now is not enough. It is about acknowledging that you are that thing you believe you are not. Did you know you've already been and have always been that dream version of yourself that you're working so hard to get to? You've had that inside you this whole time. Like, wow. You've always been that. And it's your perception of yourself that has interfered so deeply with your ability to accept the reality of who you are. Like, and finding a way to live it with consciousness and love. It is about delving into the parts of you that have been hidden in a veil of shadows and are now becoming ready to be revealed and lived as a part of the beautiful and whole being that you are in truth. In particular, this oracle asks you to look at where you can nourish your emotional and physical life with more focus, perhaps through art, creativity, journaling your dreams, creating collages, or engaging in dance or other forms of movement. Your spirit needs it to thrive at this time. Y'all need to twerk. Polynesian twerk. You know what I'm saying? Poly twerking. My YouTube folks have seen me polytwerk. No, seriously. It's just gluteal isolations. I can control each of my gluteal muscles, gluteus maximus, medius, and minimus, individually. Tiny bubbles in the wine makes me feel happy, makes me feel fine. I used to be a Polynesian dancer when I was a kid. When I say I can twerk, it's Tahitian twerking. Yeah. Let me stop. I'm going to hurt myself. Reading's done. That's how you know reading is done. Nope, it's going somewhere it should not go. And I will not continue down that path because I don't want my husband to come into this room and be like, what are you talking about? Inappropriate stuff. I'm talking about my ass. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, guys, I gotta go. I gotta eat. I gotta eat. If you haven't already followed me or subscribed, please do. You want to make sure you're able to find me again because you just never know what's going to come out my mouth. I don't know either. I like to be just as surprised as all of you. So follow, share. Also, I'm going to be going live on 2/22 for that 222 portal. The 22 portal on the 2nd of February was caca. So I didn't do a fire ceremony then. I will be doing a fire ceremony for the 22nd of February. That portal is not caca. So the portal begins to open days before the actual 22nd. The apex dates are the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. That's when it's fully open. So we're going to be harnessing some of that frequency. I'm going to be doing readings, scans, energetic work. This is a very potent portal. I cannot emphasize that enough. It is already locked down. It is secured. There is no piggybacking of frequency by parasitic things. They've been locked out of this portal channel. What does that mean? Well, well, that means the energy that's going to be coming through 222 is the highest degree of guidance. 2 + 2 + 2 is 6. 6 is the number of divine receiving. This portal carries with it the energies to push your life into a space of manifestation of all the things you've worked so hard for. It's tremendous potentiality coming through with this portal. I will have the listing up soon, probably by the end of today. I'm going to be going live on my YouTube channel on 2/22, 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you want energy work done, that's definitely when you should get it done. Like, there's a handful of portals throughout the year where it's like, you don't want to miss this. This is one of those portals. It's not usually like that. This year, yes, the hell it is. Portal channels are not typically locked down. This one has been locked and encrypted. It is a rolling encryption. It's being used to broadcast. Can I say it? You guys. The 222 portal is being used to broadcast Orifim frequency. I don't know if y'all know what that means on TikTok, on YouTube. Some of y'all might know what that means. So part of my soul lineage is that I'm Oraf. The potentiality for this. The potentiality. The promises that are carried through. Honestly, I don't know what Bashar talks about. I've heard of Bashar. Um, I don't really know much of what Bashar does. I've seen maybe like 2 or 3 um, clips of his videos on TikTok. He's one of the rare few that I'm not like, ew, ew. So I'm assuming that's good. I'm assuming Bashar is okay. Um, this is a huge potentiality. I'll have all of that hopefully done by the end of the day today. And then you guys can look and see what you want. But hang tight. All the dark things, malignant dark things, they know what this period is promising. They're going to go ape shit. Let them. Who gives a shit? Secure your field. Who gives a shit what they're going through? Don't let them. Don't let them in your space. Don't give them the time. Don't give them any of that. Don't let them have any of your energy. Don't let them dictate to you what your emotions will be. No. You guys who were here earlier in the live on TikTok, you saw there was some assholish person who's just like, I don't have sympathy for you. Well, that's good because I'm not wanting sympathy, you fucknut. Okay. Okay. So, you know, you guys, you do what you need to do. Be solid. Get sturdy. Get sturdy. Get sturdy. Who is R as it relates to Saint Germain? I find it suspicious that he's referred to only as R. There's a principality whose name begins with an R, 4 letters. That's the first thing that comes to mind. Saint Germain is heavily connected to Mihai. Um, that's Michael's actual name. It's not Michael, it's Mihai. And sounds like mimicry. Sounds like mimicry. I've never heard of it. I've never seen it, but that sounds like mimicry, Teresa. And that's why you find it suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Unfortunately, they're very suspicious. So, you know, yeah, no, by all means, you guys are free to use the term fucknut if you want. Sometimes just shit just comes out my mouth. It depends on my emotions at the time. I gotta go, guys. I need to go eat. Thank you, everyone. I'll see you.